Okay, Shalom Ubracha. So we're starting this year. First, we're going backwards. We want to see um, from a midrash, and then we'll go back to the Likutey Moharan. This midrash is the opening of Midrash Rabbah. Okay, author of Midrash Rabbah is Rabbi Hoshaya Rabbah. That's why it's called Midrash Rabbah. We were at his grave. He's buried in Pekin, believe it or not. This Rabbi Hoshaya Rabbah. Not to get confused with Rabbi Oshaya Ishtiria, which is north of Pekin. Mamash facing Pekin, there's an old Jewish cemetery, and we were there. Baruch Hashem. So he starts off like this. This is the opening of the Midrash. And always in any book, the opening paragraph is very significant because it contains in it like a message for the entire book, believe it or not. So this opening paragraph, Rabbi Oshaya Rabbah opens up the greatness of the Torah. So I'm going to be reading from the very, very beginning of Midrash Rabbah, which is Genesis, Parshat Bereshit. So it's Parsha 1, Parsha Aleph, section 1. So on the opening words, Bereshit bara Elokim. So Rabbi Hoshaya Rabbah says the following. Rabbi Hoshaya Rabbah patach. Rabbi Hoshaya Rabbah, when he wanted to begin to expound on this verse, Bereshit bara Elokim, he brings another verse from Proverbs, from Mishlei. The verse in Proverbs, chapter 8, reads like this. Va'ehye etzlo amon, va'ehye sha'ashuim yom v'chule. Okay, Mishlei, chapter 8, verse 30. King Solomon, Shlomo Melech, who's writing Proverbs, he's speaking on behalf of the Torah. The first is, believe it or not, the whole beginning of Proverbs, or especially this chapter 8 and the one before it, is like King Solomon talking on behalf of the Torah. The Torah is praising its greatness. So when people learn the Torah, they should know that it's not a small matter. It's not a joke. It's a big thing to learn Torah. It's a big thing to connect the Torah. So King Solomon is speaking on behalf of the Torah. The Torah said about itself, Va'eyeh etzlo amon. I, the Torah says, was by Hashem etzlo amon. I was an amon. What's this word amon? The Midrash is going to give 5 explanations for this word amon, what it means. On the pshat means there's two pshats. Or it was I was being taken care of by Hashem. Or, and this is the real explanation, this is the one that Rashi brings also, I was the blueprint of Hashem, the craft, the workmanship, the utensil, the vessel that Hashem used. I was for Hashem amon, okay? And I was also sha'ashuim, being delighted by Hashem, yom yom. A day of Hashem is like 1,000 years. So day is 2,000 years. One day and another day, that's 2,000 years. So some explain it's 2,000 years before the creation, and some say 2,000 years, the first 2,000 years of the creation, the Torah was being pampered, was hidden until Kabbalat Torah, until the Jews received the Torah at Sinai. So now the Midrash gives 4 explanations plus one more. The first 4 connected. The first 4 is the Torah saying that it was being pampered and taken care of until it would be ready to be revealed. So the Midrash says 4 explanations of what type of pampering and being taken care of. In other words, the Torah, Hashem was hiding the Torah, using it for his own personal pleasure until it was time to reveal the Torah to the world. It was like a hidden sense. So the first explanation is Amon, pedagog. First explanation is Amon means pedagog, which we will see soon what it means. Amon, second one, Amon mechuse, covered up. Amon mutzna, hidden, totally hidden. They eat the Amar, and there are those who say, these are all 4 connected. Amon rabata. Amon means big. Now he goes into each of the 4. Watch. Amon pedagog. Okay, pedagog means like a real baby that needs to be taken care of everything, to clean him and wipe him and wash him and everything. Can't do anything, and it's mamash like a parent taking care of a baby. So that means the verse would read, Va'ayeh etzlo amon, I, the Torah, was for Hashem, etzlo, I was being taken care of. Hashem was pampering the Torah until we're ready to be revealed, okay? So it's covered up, pedagog. Where's the proof that amon means that? How do you know to say this meaning, which means pedagogue, like a baby being pampered and taken care of? So the proof is, the Midrash brings a proof from Moshe Rabbeinu's complaint. I think it's in Parashat Ba'alotcha, when the Jews are complaining that there's no meat, and they want meat, and all they have is the manna. So Moshe Rabbeinu said to Hashem, they're going to kill me soon. And Hashem said, you know what? I'll give them the slav, I'll give them the meat. So Moshe Rabbeinu was upset, Hashem. He said, you give them all the meat in the world, it won't suffice for them. You remember the famous Chumash and then Rashi there in Parashat Balotcha. So the verse reads, Ech Mada Amar, how do I know pedagog? Like it says in Bamidbar, in Parashat Balotcha. Kasher Yisa HaOmer Tayonek, Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu is complaining to Hashem. Hashem, you told me to take care of these Jewish people. Kasher Yisa HaOmer, just like a nurse carries, pampers, takes care of totally the baby at Tayonek. That's how you, Hashem, are telling me to take care of the Jewish people. So here's the first proof of Omen, meaning pedagogue, being totally pampered. Okay? Okay, second one, Amon Mechuseh. What does it mean to be covered up? Covered up is now a level upwards. It's that all you need is to uncover. The Torah is there. It's beginning to be revealed. You just have to uncover it. Pedagogue is you have to take care of everything. Mechuseh is that it's there, you just have to take off the blanket. Mechuseh is like covered up with a blanket. How do I know that Amon means Mechuseh? So how would the verse read? Va'ayeh etzlo Amon. I was covered up by Hashem. The Torah is saying it wasn't yet the time, so I'm Mechuseh, I'm covered up. Mechuseh. So how do I know Mechuseh? So here, Hesma Dat Amar says in Echa, in chapter 4, he's depicting Yirmiyahu, the terrible tragedy of the Jews in Yerushalayim during the siege, that they were starving and they were dying out of starvation on the streets. And he describes there, ha'emunim ale tola, children who used to be wrapped up, ha'emunim, wrapped up in like purple and colorful blankets. That's one explanation. This is the Midrash way of explaining it, as opposed to another explanation is that they laid on the ground nice blankets and they put their children to play on them. But the Midrash saying means Ha'emunim ale tola, those children who were babies are wrapped up in tola. Emunim means wrapped up in tola, which is the colorful blankets. And now they're on the ashpot, they're lying on the grounds, dead and starving in the streets of Yerushalayim. So this is the second proof that emunim means covered up. So va'ehye etzlo Amon, and I was by Hashem Amon. I was covered up because it wasn't yet time to be revealed. Okay. Mutzna, the next one, number 3. Amon Mutzna. Where do I learn that from? Hechmad Atamar, and this is unique. So how do we get to the next? Here we go. Okay. This is the Midrash Rabbah's unique explanation of this pasuk. Esther. Vahi Omen et Hadassa. Normally, all your years when learning Megillat Esther, how do you understand Vahi Omen et Hadassa? And Mordechai was raising Hadassah, Esther. The Midrash says no. The word Omen et Hadassa, Mordechai was mutzna, hiding, not covering up. He was mutzna, hiding Esther from the guards of Achashverosh who were looking for a beautiful woman to bring to him. This is the Midrash. It's unique. If you look in the Tanakh, none of the Mefarshim bring this explanation of the Midrash. The Midrash has a unique explanation. Omen et Hadassa, Mordechai was hiding her so they shouldn't find her. Omen, hiding at Hadassa. Okay? So the verse reads, Va'ayeh etzlo Amon. So based on this, I was by Hashem, the Torah is saying I was by Hashem, mutzna, covered up, hidden. Not just covered, but hidden, that you have to work hard to find it. Okay? So that's that one. Now the final of the 4, Amon Rabeta, which is number 4 here, which means Amon Rabeta, big, that I was by Hashem, something very, very precious, something special, big, something big for Hashem. So that means the verse would be now, Va'ayeh etzlo Amon, I was for Hashem something very special, something very, very big. And Hashem was waiting for that time to have me revealed to the world. Okay? So Amon Rabbeinu, how do I know that proof? Kemadetema, like it says in Nachum. Nachum now is rebuking Ashur. Ashur thought that they're big shots, they're big people. But he said in front of Nebuchadnezzar, the prophet Nachum is saying on behalf of Hashem, but by Nebuchadnezzar you'll be nothing. So Nachum, the prophet, is rebuking Ashur, and he says about Ashur, the kingdom of Ashur, Hatitvi mino Amon. Do you think you are greater? You're better. Hatitvi, you're tov. You're better than No. What is No? The city No, Amon, which was big. And the Midrash has to go into the Targum of the pasuk to explain this, and that's the proof of Amon. And the Targum of this pasuk in Nachum was like this: Ha'at Tava me'Alexandria Rabeta Diyatva ben Naharota. Do you think you are better than Alexandria in Egypt? The big Alexandria that was so powerful, nobody thought that they can bring down Alexandria. And Nebuchadnezzar came to demolish Alexandria in Egypt. And if he did that, then for sure what's waiting for you? You think you're better than Alexandria, that they were so strong? Why were they so strong? Diyatva ben Naharata, because it says in the Gemara that a city that has the sea as a fortress, as a wall, that's one of the strongest walls you can have. One of the best walls for a city is the sea itself. Because just to get there, you have to kill yourself with boats. So it's like climbing a wall. It's even better sometimes. When a city has as its fourth wall the sea, that's one of the Gemara says this is one of the best walls you can have. So Alexandria, which was in Egypt, facing the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, so it's dwelling between that sea and has, the next sea there, I guess the Dead Sea, I don't know, but it's in close proximity to the sea as being their wall. Do you think you're better? So how does the Targum say? On Amon, Rabeta. Do you think you're better than Alexandria, the great, powerful city? You're not better, okay? So the Midrash is using this proof that Amon, Amon means Rabeta, big, okay? Now here is the big thing. The Midrash says, Davar Acher. Let's switch now the explanation of Amon and translate it as something else. And this is the Midrash's main explanation, okay? And Rabbi Nachman builds on this one. Davar Acher, another explanation like this. Amon means Uman. Here, Amon, Uman, with a dagesh in the mem, Uman. Okay? What's Uman? HaTorah omeret, the Torah says, Ani hayiti kli umanuto shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Torah saying, Va'ayeh etzlo Amon, not that it was covered up and taken care of until the time came to be revealed. That there's a big machloket between the Mefarshim of the Midrash Rabbah and the Ramak. So Moshe Cordovera has an explanation of the first four, where he says Mechuseh is referring to the Torah of Keter. But the Mefarshim, there's the Parish called Mahartzu, Etz Yosef, they say that these levels, Pedagog, Mechuseh, Mutzna, Rabata, are referring to different parts of the Torah. The Nigle, the Drash, Maaseh Merkava, Maaseh Bereshit, okay? But you see that there's an opening to expound on this Drash, because they say one thing, one Mefarsh says Maaseh Merkava, Maaseh Bereshit, one he says it's Pshat Remiz Drash Sod, and the Ramak says something else, so we have a little bit room to play games with, and we're going to interpret this based on the Likutey Moharan lesson 24. So watch this. Davar Acher, Amon is Uman. The Torah says, Ayeh etzlo Amon. I was Kli Umanuto. I was the vessel, the utilization vessel used to create the world. Ani hayiti Kli Umanuto shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I was the vessel that Hashem used to create the world. How's the way of the world in society, in human society? How does it work when you want to build a house? When someone, even 500 years ago, even 1,000 years ago, do you think that these people, when they uncover, archaeologists, these old houses and buildings by Kever Shmuel and Avi, or in the old city, that the Jews were stupid and they just put bricks? No, everyone, even the most stupidest people, when you build a house, you first bring an architect and he has to, on a paper or a piece of leather, paste out the plan. You have to make a plan. Even the stupidest people, they make a plan. They do start building like a Nufi house, a Pollock house, and then it falls down. You have to have it done properly. You have to have an architect who designs, okay, we're going to put 5 meters here, 10 meters. You won't be able to make a building. Just put one brick, and then it falls. That's stupid. You need an architect who plans out on a separate paper the image of what the final product is going to look like. And based on that, they say, okay, he tells the workers, okay, bring this pole here, one more stone here, one more stone. That's how it works. So watch. In the way of the world, a king, a flesh and blood, he builds a palace. When a king builds a palace, okay, I want to build a palace. Do you think the king himself, he builds the palace? No. He hires a worker, a professional craftsman, in this case an architect, to design and take care of the building of the palace. Okay? Uman, and now the architect himself, the craftsman, the one who's expert in making a building, he doesn't build the structure, the palace, based on his own understanding, and in other words, based on just what he sees. Ella diftraot upinkasaot yeshno. He has a diftra. Diftra is a type of cloth used for writing a sefer Torah. That's a term of tefillin and cloth. He takes parchments and pinkas. He has these pinkas, is these wax boards that they used to have. Today it's all paper, but back then they didn't have paper. And on them he makes images. Ladat he'achu oseh chadarim. How he's going to make the shape of the rooms. He'achu oseh pishpishin. How he makes the antechambers. I don't have the next page. I lost it. Okay, thank you. So too, Hashem was looking into the Torah, the craftsman, the vessel, the plan, the blueprint, and he made the world. Okay, fine. And then Rabbi goes back to the opening verse. The Torah says, Bereshit bara Elokim. Through Reshit, ve'en Reshit ela Torah. Reshit means through the Reshit, which is the Torah, the beginning. And the Torah is called Reshit. Like the verse says in Mishle, Hashem Kanani Reshit Darko. That's the same chapter in Proverbs in Mishle, but it's verse 22 this time. Hashem, the Torah says, Hashem acquired me as the beginning of his way, the way of the creation. Okay? Based on this, 5 explanations on the word Aye Etzlo Amon. 4 in one group, and the last one in its own group. The 4 in the one group are terms of how Hashem took care of the Torah. So it fits in to say, here's Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod. Pshat, which is the Gemara, the learning of the Torah, which requires, you can't just learn Gemara and Halacha on one foot while traveling. You need a yeshiva, you need a Beis Midrash, you need time to invest to understand Gemara, to understand Halacha, to understand the Pshat of the Torah. You can't do it while like doing other things. You can't now, for example, a person's driving to work and he thinks he can do a Daf Yomi Shir while listening and not looking inside. And if it's more to go into Rashi, Tosfot, Rosh, Rishran, if it's halacha, don't expect the guy to have a serious shir in halacha while driving. You have to invest. The person has to turn off his car, turn off his WhatsApp, and go to Beis Midrash and learn. That's like pedagog. Pedagog means that it has to be totally taken care of. So to the pshat requires a lot of investment. You have to invest time, brain, everything, energy. You have to do everything for this pedagogue, for the Uman of the Torah, the Pshat. Pshat needs a lot, okay? Remez is mechuseh. Remez is already a kef. It's already gebaldik. Oh, it's amazing. We have time, we're okay? Yeah. The remez is more that now I find hints. All I have to do is uncover. The Torah said like this. Here, remez is like in the area of drash, midrashim, but it's like hints, gematrias. It's there, and it's not hidden so much. You just have to uncover. You just have to think a little, and you make the connections. You find hints to what the Torah is really saying. That's like mechuseh. Mutzna is a darshan. A darshan has to really dig. He wants to give you an innovation. He wants to present you something that was there, but it's hidden, and he wants to bring it out to you see this amazing idea. It doesn't have to be Kabbalah. We're talking about Kabbalah. Talking about an amazing hanhaga or a derech and a nice chidush, where it's hidden and he has to dig deep to uncover it and to bring it out. That's a darshan. That's why people like darshanim, because it's exciting and this and it's innovative, okay? Sod is the idea of Rabita, because when you go into the world of Sod, Kabbalah, these are big terms. Atzilut, Biriya, Yetzira, Atzira, okay, fine? So it's all these high terms and it's Kabbalah and all these amazing things that makes you feel, wow, like Star Wars, like I'm in outer space, it's amazing. When learning Kabbalah, it's big. It's not the same brain investment necessarily as in Gemara and Pshat and Halacha, where you have to really hold the connections and the intellectual part. You have to be able to hold a lot of capacity in your brain to follow the Mahalach of Maharash Sheikh and then the Rashba and the Rashbam. And for those who are capable, of course, those who can do that. That's how far Pshat goes. And that's what's expected in a person to sharpen his brain. That's pedagogue. It's hard. But Rabbetai, it's big. It's vast, the Kabbalah. It's like you're dealing with big things about the secrets of the creation. It's unbelievable, okay? Yet, there's a 5th level. The 5th level is what we're talking about in lesson 24, the infinite light. The Or Ein Sof is using even the Sod, Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod, those Uman, are just a vessel that the Or Ein Sof can use to bring about big infinite light perspectives and perceptions using the pardes. It's super high. Okay, this is the world of the Keter. Okay, so based on that, look at the opening words. Va'eheye etzlo amon. We said already. Take a look in the Likutey Moharan in lesson 24. Ekyeh is the name for Keter. Va'eheye, the Torah is saying I was. I'm Ekyeh. Etzlo is a hint to Atzilut. Above Atzilut, okay? Where do you find by Etzlo? Amon. This is the Davar Acher, okay? Amon here is Keter. Amon is Keter, okay? So if you take a look in Torah lesson 24, we'll finish with the Midrash, and just put this somewhere there, thanks. In lesson 24, where we're holding really, lesson 24, I'm just going to read quickly to the point, okay? In the essence of the blessing, through went through this many times, through joining Emuna with the brain. So you bless now a second blessing, which is the structuring and organizing, selling of the mind, which is the idea of the Keter. And how do I know that? That you bless the Keter. When Ekyeh is with you, when Keter, the sphere of Keter is associated with the holy name of Ekyeh. We went into that. We'll go into this and hopefully upcoming classes more. There's much more to develop on this. But let's get to the point. When Ekyeh is with you, I'll give you an additional bracha. The second bracha we said is that the mesader miyashev of the sechel is blessed. The structuring and organizing of the mind is blessed. And what is that in other words on a practical level? Keter uleshon hamtana. This is the language of waiting. And Keter itself means waiting. Like it says in the book of Eov, that Elihu said to Eov when trying to appease him not to get angry at Hashem for all the suffering he went through, that all this is a growth process. And now he said to him, Katar lizer, wait for me a little more to settle my mind and settle your mind to have more questions. V'achavek, and I'll tell you even more things to prove to you. Because in our Rebbe says a rule, because when we ask a person a question involving sechel, intellect, Omer, the person doesn't answer immediately. He says, Hamten ad shet yashev. Wait for me until I settle my mind. And now this is the point we want to get to. Vegam sham. And even in the waiting process, tzarich emuna, you still need emuna even in this level. Bivchinat amon mufla. What in the world is amon mufla? This term, Amon Mufla, appears maybe 6, 7, 8 times in the Tikkunei Zohar. Amon Mufla is how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai refers to what the Midrash is talking about. The Davar Acher, the fifth explanation, the second explanation, which is really the fifth one, Amon Uman. That Hashem used the Torah as the vessel to create the world, okay? So the Zohar says on that, Amon Mufla, that Hashem used which part of the Torah to create the world? Mufla, the Pele, the Keter. The Keter was really the beginning process of creating the world. Amon Mufla. So now Rabbi Nachman's Chidush is, beside, the Midrash said 5 explanations of Amon, but he didn't put in Emuna. Rabbeinu puts in that Amon means Emuna. Okay? Amon is Uman, is the clear. And in that explanation of Uman, of the craft, is the idea of Emuna. Is the idea of Emuna, which, okay, what does that mean by us? The Emuna in Pele is different than the Emuna you need in learning Torah. When you learn Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod, what's the Emuna you need when learning Torah, which we went into? That you have to fill the Sechel with Emuna. What type of Emuna is needed? That there's more out there than I'm seeing. In other words, beyond me, there's more. I'm learning a Gemara, I'm learning a Chumash, but I believe there's much more depth than what I see. I'm learning Rashi, I'm learning Tosfot, I'm learning everything, but I know there's much more, and I believe in it, and I'm connected to the Emunah. So the Emunah is beyond me. From what I'm learning, it's something that's beyond the text. What's the Emunah and Keter? The exact opposite direction. Emunah and Keter means, we said the Keter, we didn't see, we got into it. We get to it in paragraphs 8. The nature of the Keter, to settle your mind, and to give you a coordination. It pushes you back. It's called the Betisha. It's coming up. We're going to see in paragraph number 8 that the way of the Hamten, you're waiting. What happens in the waiting? They push you back. Okay? What does that mean? And then when you push back, you build vessels that then serve as the vessels to receive the infinite light within them. But you got pushed back to do that. In order for this to happen into your life, to perceive the infinite light, they push you back. And that's Torah. That's a preparation for the Or Ein Sof. So what's happening here? When you're being pushed back and you're being thrown into so much garbage in life and such miniyot and such hamtana that you just want to drop everything, you have to believe that what you're going through is a process to perceive something higher than any of the 4 levels of the Torah, the Keter. Okay, we have to go, right? We have to stop right now. We have 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Yeah. 1 more? No, not even. 1 more minute, okay? So the emunah of the Keter is that it's not like I'm learning a text and I believe it's beyond. I'm now in my life being thrown backwards, and I have to believe that there's a hidden Torah above Sod waiting to be revealed to me. The infinite light's going to use my being pushed back in order to create within me what's called Mi'ashev Mesader Tasechel, okay? And for that, in order to appreciate Vizat Hashem, a higher level, the infinite life, okay? This is the 5th level. So now, this is on the side. Rabbi Nachman called himself. It's in Likutey Moharan. Ani ish pele nishmati pele gadol. He said, I'm a man of pele, which is keter, and my soul is a big, as if to say, a bigger pele. What's the pshat? One pshat can be, in his lifetime, he said, I'm an ish pele. And after his passing now, my soul, which is the remnant of me, of the body, is even a greater pele. And he's buried in Uman, which is the lashon here of the davar acher. The 5th explanation is, it's not stam. In Ukrainian, the word Uman doesn't fit in. Beredisha, Vinitsa, all these funny names is in the Ukrainian dialect. But the word Uman is such a weird word. Even in Ukrainian, it doesn't have a meaning. It's only a Yiddish meaning in Kedusha of the idea of Uman. So Uman muflא is a hint to Rabbi Nachman's Rosh Hashanah. Uman is Uman, and now Pele muflא, he said it's a hint to him because he said he's a Pele, and it's muflא. Muflã is even bigger, probably. Pele and muflã. When you say muflã as opposed to Pele and muflã, what sounds bigger? Pele gadol sounds muflã. Okay, what comes out of all this? People who come to Breslev, and in the beginning there's a big light. Everyone has this big light, and afterwards this light is taken away. And people outside of Breslev, they can't understand these Breslevers. What are you guys talking about ups and downs and you read this? Why can't you be normal like everybody else who's in the world of Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod? We don't have these things. Nachman, you don't have these things because we're after the Keter. We who discovered Rabbi Nachman and Breslev teachings, we want only Or Ein Sof. Why do I want Ein Sof? Because I want to find meaning in my life, how my life connects to the whole Torah. That's above Sod already. To do that, to find myself and what I'm going through, how it connects to the Torah and gives meaning, I need to go beyond Sod. I need to go beyond Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod. I need the Keter. I need the Or Ein Sof from the Keter. You want that? Breslev is for you. What happens in Uman Rosh Hashanah normally? When people get back, they get smacked. And they think, what happened? I thought it was going to get better. This is the process. This is now the preparation for the 9 vessels. Yiratzon. People should take this seriously and know what they gain by being by Rabbi Nachman for Rosh Hashanah. It's like Rav Nosson said, the whole world screams Hamelech in the davening before Baruch Hu, right? In Shacharis and Rosh Hashanah, the whole world screams Hamelech, but he says Aval hachtara be'uman. But the crowning, the coronation is in Uman. As if to say the Keter you get when you come to Uman Rosh Hashanah. All right. Shana Tova and a good gebench to everybody. Bezrat Hashem.